Hey everybody, here we are for the featured roll of the week. It is a 1950D key date Jefferson nickel roll. I don't remember Frostbite. I'm not sure. Let me see if your name happens to exist in here. Yes, you do. You have at least one Frostbite. So anyway, here we are, 1950D key date nickels. Going to go ahead and get started here and get the microscope kicked and get ourselves ready to go. And here we are, coin number 1, Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton. There is one known double die reverse that Kaneka doesn't list, but a variety of, what am I trying to say? Wexler did list it. These are pretty nice looking coins. You have to understand that we are looking at these under a lot of magnification. This is actually a pretty high grade coin, even though it looks a little soft. Most nickels look soft because it's the hardest metal that the United States has ever minted coins using. And the double die reverse shows mostly up in this area. You're going to see extra thickness in pluribus. I'll be sure to watch for that for you. This one is not anything real special, but I'm going to put it here in the holder. Hello, Mr. Adams. Good day, sir. And then I'm going to show you the coin. A very nice gemmy looking 1950D nickel there. Okay, so that one is for Paul. And that's what I'll do with all of the ones in this roll. This one's for Malcolm. We'll look at under the scope and then I'll show it to you briefly on camera so you can kind of see what it looks like from afar. Because I'm not expecting really to find any die varieties in this. Perhaps the double die reverse, maybe. But we're doing this more so that we've got really nice examples of a key date coin rather than die varieties. Like I say again, it is very possible for us to find the one known double die reverse. There were only 2.63 million of these coins minted, 2,630,000. Given that, it is the lowest mintage of all of the Jefferson nickel regular issue coins. The only one that comes close, actually, is 1939D, which is also considered one of the keys. Where are we here? There we go. It's another really nice looking coin. And that one, coin number 2, is from Malcolm. Now number 3, Carl. There were 3.5 million coins minted in Denver in 1939. Most of the other mintages, including all of the wartime issues, had quite a few more minted than the 1950D and 1939D. Hello, Taco John. Good day, sir. Again. Okay, this one doesn't have any doubling on it either. Has a couple of little marks, but it is still a very nice coin. How close can I get and still be in focus? Oh, pretty close actually. There we go. All right, coin number 4 now. Coin number 4 is for Kevin. Relatively new to the scene, for this channel anyway. Kevin looks like he's getting here a very nice looking Jeffy. Pretty 50D nickel here. Let's see if we have not. I thought maybe we might be able to pull out a double die, but no. There's one known double die reverse, and it's only listed in the Wexler files. It is not listed by Variety Vista or Coneca that I know of. Here's that coin closer up. So these are all really nice looking coins. That one is for Kevin. Let's do coin number 5 now. Of course, there's only 40 coins in a roll of nickels, so there won't be as many coins. That's part of why I'm stopping to show you every coin. That also because this is a key date roll. It's not your everyday roll of nickels. Got a couple of little marks on the obverse. The reverse still looks quite nice. See about steps here. Not quite full step. That one's for Parvis. And here's the coin for Parvis. All BU coins, very nice ones. Number 6 now, Chuck Patillo. Nice condition. Also not a double die. No repunchment marks known. No double die obverses known. Doesn't keep us from looking, but it certainly dashes our hopes quite a bit in finding anything. But hopefully the condition of these wonderful coins is enough to pull us through any disappointment we might have from not receiving die varieties. But it's just a beautiful coin. Really pretty. Nice luster. Here's coin number 7 now. Farm Dog. Farm Dog. A little ginger mark on his cheek there. A little mole. Otherwise a very clean obverse. See about the reverse. I don't think because of the hits on the steps that this one would get full steps. It's also missing part of the lower step. It's got like almost 4 out of 5 steps. Hello, Mark. Malcolm. Good day, my friends. We are still looking to see what we can find in this 1950D roll of nickels. I have never seen a 50D roll of nickels, and now I'm going through one. So here's another one of the coins there. This one's for Farm Dog. Get it up a little bit closer. There we go. Come into focus, says me. There we go. Pretty, pretty. Lots of pretties. Coin number 8 goes to Paul Hampton. Paul will receive this piece. Now the die wear that you see on these came on very early in the die's life for nickels because nickel is a very, very hard metal to mint. Given that it is a very hard metal, the dies kind of wore out quickly. That's why the steps are gone so quickly on these dies. It takes a pretty early die state and a very nice strike to get full steps. Just not going to be one of those things you see every day, especially on 50D. It is why you don't see very many high-grade coins. Although high-grade you're talking about with steps and full detail and really nice crisp details. Yeah, that's because nickel is a very hard metal. All right, Mr. Fletcher comes up next here. pretty decent looking coin here. Let's check the next side here. And what do we get on the reverse? This will be more 50D Jefferson nickels than I've ever seen in one day. I have not looked through these coins, so I have really no idea exactly what we're in for. Still not a full step. Pretty nice though, I mean very nice condition. Just not full step. Here's Mr. Fletcher's coin. Alright, coin number 10, Frostbite. There you go, Frostbite. There's your first one for the roll. That's a planchet striation. That's actually an impurity in the metal. Some people say sometimes those streaks are actually a different kind of metal mixed in, like silver or something like that. I don't know. It just looks like a rubber streak or something like that to me. Okay, we're kind of lacking on steps. And nothing there on that one. Still a pretty decent coin though. Nice full luster coin. Every one of these is really nice full luster coins. Here's one for Sissy. He's got a Groucho Marx eyebrow. I'm getting old. Don't tell me how out of date that statement was. Okay, nothing on that one. And here's Sissy's coin. Now for number 12, Taco John. Taco John. Okay. Let's see here. I'm not really watching for particular markers to repeat. I'm just looking for any sign of the doubling that is on WDDR number 1. Not really specifically looking for anything else on these in particular. I'm just kind of looking at them in general. Alright, this is Taco's coin right here. Very nice. Nice coin. RJ. Mr. RJ Stone. I'll try to get this on a little better focus. Back out a little bit too. Get easier to see a little bit more of the coin at once. There we go. See how this works. I think we might get along with this a little bit better. Okay, take a look at the other side. Nothing real special. Just real pretty coins. That's coin number 13. Check out coin number 14 goes to Crispy. Takes a lot less time to look at the coins when you're doing it zoomed out just a little bit. Zooming in any more than this is really usually never necessary. There's for crispy. Everybody will have a nice 1960D nickel now. Or 1950D, I'm sorry. I scared you. They're 1950D. 1960D is a whole nother animal. They look relatively the same. Man, that's a real clean looking. That didn't hardly have a mark on the face. Pretty nice looking coin here. A little divot running across the steps. No doubling. This one's for Dick French. Let's see if we can focus in, like really close. No, that's about the best I can get for distance. Where specifically on the reverse, the only known double die for 1950D nickels is on the reverse, and it's mostly in the upper area and shows as extra thickness in basically the unum of E pluribus unum mostly. I mean, I'm looking for anything, but especially for that double die because it is the only known double die for 1950D. It's not here either. That serif right here is the one I'm focusing on the most. And instead of being a thin line like that, it's going to be like a thick chunk. There's, if you happen to get an earlier die state example, it has, it's pretty nice notching too. Here we go. That one was for Ted. Now number 17. Yeah, more than one person ordered the 60Ds. Right. Uh-oh. A big rim mark on that one. Got a rim hit on this one that we're getting for Eric. Let's check the other side. And another little rim hit. No double die. And for Eric. Once you get this coin out of the way, building a set of Jeffersons is really not difficult. This one and the 39D are the two that are the toughest to get. Other than that, if you stay away from the proofs, you have a relatively full set in very little time. That is a mint error of some sort. I'm not really sure what it is. That's kind of interesting, though. It's a little planchet burr or something. Still no double die. This one goes to Mr. Patillo. What was the guy's name who had all the 50Ds? I don't know. I really don't. We're not talking about Henning. He's the guy who made fake coins. Alright, here's one. This one's for Chuck Patillo. Next up, coin number 19 goes to Sureg. 19 to Sureg. Here we are. Nothing different on the obverse. Little tiny bit spotty on a reverse. But even with a couple of spots, it's still really pretty. These nickels are real nice. This one's for Harlan. So I showed you all the coins that I've showed you so far under the camera just to show you the contrast between what they look like under a microscope and what they look like under good lighting on the camera. And they kind of look nasty when you look at them under the microscope. But you pull them away from a microscope and just take a look at the coin. They're really nice, beautiful, bright coins. All right, number 21 goes back to Malcolm again. Nothing on the obverse. And normal on the reverse as well. There's a Malcolm's coin. No, Mickey, I don't think their coins would be any more special than anybody else's. A lot of times when you get little advertising and things by companies that will advertise a hoard to you, they're usually not of any special value, but they are priced as though they are. Just watch what you're spending on that kind of stuff. Make sure that you're not spending too much. I wouldn't want to see you get hurt by something like that. There's a little die chip there next to the steps. On the left side of the steps there. But nothing else super special on this one. Here's for Taco John. Alright, number 23 now. 23, Sureg. I'm about to go through a big sell-off of a bunch of copper. If anybody wants copper right now, as far as pennies, they're selling it 2x face, 2 times face. You can get as little or as much as you want. Just email me, cd@coppercoins.com. Tell me what you'd like and we'll work a deal out. I'll take care of you. Really? 100,000 of them. That's a lot. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Really nice looking Jeffy there for Sureg. Alright, here's coin number 24. Ted. Ted Evans. The self-proclaimed old fart. I think, what is it he calls himself? Leftover old fart or something like that. I can't remember his name now. I know him as Ted Evans. Almost full step. It's pretty. The pennies that I'd be giving you, they would be anything from the late 30s up through 1958. Probably more in the 40s and early 50s than anything else. I'm trying not to overburden people with, 55 to 58 coins. A pretty decent mix. But they would mostly be the latter half of the series. Here's coin number 25 now. Parviz. Ooh, there's a nice crisp 1950 right there. That was an earlier die-state coin. Not hardly any die wear on this one. Very nice. Let's check out the reverse and see what we get. Well, nice and crispy looking almost. A early die state. Let's see if we have steps, and if we do, what we have for steps. I can tell you they're not great. Bummer. I was hoping for full steps on one. At least one coin out of here, right? It's a really nice looking coin. Very nicely uncirculated. All right. Number 26 goes to Cookie. Yeah, there's a lot of 65 plus coins coming out of this roll. I'm not sure at what grade they are, ones that you'd want to send in for grading, but it's at least a 66, perhaps even 67. A lot of these things turned out being in pretty high grade because, well, they were kind of hoarded, as was mentioned earlier by Mark. And so they're not uncommon in uncirculated. In fact, they're probably less common and good than they are in uncirculated. So that would mean that the lower uncirculated grades would have very little value. I mean, we're talking about a key date coin here, of which there were only 2 million minted. 2.6 million. You would think, well, generally that's going to be a pretty high dollar coin, but in lower uncirculated grades, this is a $10 to $15 coin. In better uncirculated grades, it can run $20, $25, $30. But it's kind of like the 31S Lincoln Cent. There's very little spread in value between different grades, and the reason for that is because there weren't very many minted, and most of them were kept in higher condition. Yes, Cbit, there is a show tonight, and I got your email, and I'm going to respond to you. I haven't sent any packages out from this past week yet. If you happen to order and get anything in tonight's auction, there will be no additional shipping charge. I'll put the two orders together and ship them together for you. Here's number 28. Going for Harlan this time. Thank you, Mr. Charles. And we have a relatively normal coin, but still pretty nice. Almost all of these coins would grade 64 to 65 or better. They're pretty nice, flashy coins. Here's coin number 29 now for Sissy. Nothing special there. Gosh, so they hoarded nearly 1/6 of the entire population of coins. There, folks, is your reason why 1950 Jefferson nickels are a key date, but they are not very expensive. God, imagine doing this with a roll of 09S VDBs, right? In this condition. That'd be something that would be front page news pretty much anywhere. Here's Cookie. Now, while this is the only roll of 50D Jeffersons I've ever owned or seen, it's primarily because I'm not primarily a Jefferson person. But I imagine anybody who is an overall coin dealer has probably seen a few rolls of these. Nothing special, obverse or reverse, on this one for Cookie, but the obverse appears to be a really nice. It is. It's a 66-ish grade. Real nice luster and very, very few marks. I think a 66 is like a $40, $45, $50 coin. And a 67 would be like $100, something like that. Here's a 50D again. This one for Ant. And what do we have on the reverse here? Oh, it's got 4 full steps near it. It's not a 5-stepper though. the 09S VDB Lincolns, yes, I did the reveal on that one. You guys missed it by a couple of weeks. I've only seen fewer than a half a dozen 1909 original rolls. They were Philadelphia VDB rolls. And this was 25 years ago. And even at that point in time, they were selling for well over $1,000 a roll. Not something my coffer can easily afford. Not sure I'd want to spend my entire life savings on one roll of coins. Imagine if that got lost in the mail. Right? It could be really bad news for a lot of people. Oh, the tubed roll that I had was mostly Unkish coins. They weren't, it certainly wasn't BU, and they weren't an original roll. I mean, the rolls that I saw way back in the day, those were actually full original rolls. And that was kind of mesmerizing. I've also seen and been through an original roll of 1924 Philadelphia Lincolns. I've also seen and been through an entire original roll of 1925 Philadelphia Lincolns. I've done a reveal on 1930 roll here. So I've never seen uncirculated rolls for 32 or 33 either year. 34, they start to get a little more common. Yeah, so there's actually a possibility of a minute chance there are some decent 66 to 67 lookers in here, but I'm pretty sure most of these are going to turn out to be 65 level coins. Here's coin number 34 now for Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast treasures on the Alabama coast. I think Mama and I are going to try to go hit a Mexican restaurant real quick before auction time. If I happen to run a few minutes late, well, it's just because we were eating. But I think we're going to get to take off here in about 30 minutes. And when we get to take off, it won't take us 2 hours to eat. So I should be fine. She wanted me to cook jerk chicken for this evening, and I decided, I just don't want to mess with soaking up a bunch of chicken and cooking it on the grill and all the other things that are required. And I'm kind of lazy today, and I've got an auction coming up, and I've got 3 reveals today, and it's just kind of a busy day that I don't want to stick in a couple hours worth of cooking. So we're just going to go out. My jerk chicken is good stuff. Barbecue grilled jerk chicken with yuca and maduros. I haven't talked about that much lately. Look at the reverse on this one first. Guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Not the cleanest coin on the reverse. It is pretty nice, but yeah, it's not as beautiful as some of these other coins have been. Some sort of a rim cud type thing going on there. This one for frostbite. CNG. The only time I've ever seen those 3 initials used together was for compressed natural gas. Oh, coins and ghouls, I get it. You flying to Phoenix for the midwinter? I haven't really even heard much of anything about that show. Interesting enough. It's like until you said so, I didn't even know it was in Phoenix. They're doing most of the midwinters out west these days. So I'm generally not able to attend them because they are so far away. When I have to scope over 3 time zones just to go to a coin show, I tend not to go. I like to be able to drive to my coin shows. My jerk chicken? Okay, I can do that. It's actually very simple. Most of what I make is very simple. It's tasty, but it's very simple. Like last night, I made chili from scratch. And that's what I had for dinner this evening, or for lunch this afternoon. Why do I keep saying this evening? This evening doesn't happen for another couple of hours. Have I been up that long? I've only been up since 9 o'clock this morning. That's kind of early. Eric will tell you that. 9 o'clock's usually kind of early for me. I usually wake up between 8 and 8:30, and my dog is in bed waiting for me to give him a bunch of scratches. And so I scratch him and pet him and play with him and love on him for an hour before I get out of bed. Come on, focus. Focus. There we go. Man, the focus has been really persnickety on this thing today. There we go. I'm just trying not to get so close to it, I guess. How much were each of these nickels? $10. And here is Mickey Fur, coin number 39 out of 40 in this roll. And it doesn't look like we're going to run into any of the double dies, which, I mean, there couldn't have been more than about 10 or 12 die pairs for 1950 Denver. We just didn't happen to get one of the die pairs in this roll that equaled double die, unfortunately. All right. Oh, and here we go. That is the 39th coin out of 40 in this roll. It's actually a pretty beautiful coin there for Mickey. No full steps, unfortunately. I don't think I've seen any full steps in here. Here's one for Jim Fletcher. Jim Fletcher gets coin number 40 out of the roll. It's got a couple of little speckle marks I can see on the reverse. Let's see what it looks like overall. Yeah, 63, 64 grade. Not bad, but not great. You know, one of those mediocre coins. unfortunately kind of mediocre. Almost has full steps. It's got a nice strike. All right, folks, that's it. That's all I've got until 7 o'clock at auction time. I thank you for joining me this afternoon. And I will be back at 7 after I eat dinner. Peace out, and I'll see you then.